Khushamadid, Afsaran Hind. This is Rakesh, and in this lecture, we're going to cover the Science and Tech and Environment part of Samachar Manthan, dated 10th to 17th of June. Let's rock and roll. Alright, the first news is even small dams have severe impact on river ecology. Now, this news has come as a shock to many because it was generally held that smaller dams are comparatively environmentally benign, but now this assumption has proved to be false. So, let's see what exam related stuff we have to study. The green part here shows the categorization of the news, so it is environment conservation related. From UPSC angle, for prelims we need to study Netravati river. This is the river on which the study was done. Various zones of a dam we'll see, and the study on Netravati was done by this body, FERL. We'll talk about the full form and other details later. From mains perspective, we need to focus on the environmental impact assessment of small dams and hydropower projects. Alright, let's jump into the details now. So this study was conducted on Netravati river. Okay, let's see what this river has for us. Alright, come to Arabian Sea. Alright, come to Mangalore, and then you will be seeing this creek. Okay, and this creek is joined by the river called Netravati. So you are clear that this river drains into the Arabian Sea. This is point number 1. Point number 2, Mangalore is the nearest big city that this river is, or not exactly near to the river but the creek. But it can be said that Mangalore is the nearest big city to this river. Then about Kerala, see, this is the northern boundary of Kerala. Okay, let me use another color, green. This is the northern boundary of Kerala. So Netravati doesn't enter the Kerala territory. So you have to be very, very clear that Netravati is exclusively a Karnataka river. Okay. Then there is another river known as Hemavati. Please come to the brown part in this diagram, in this picture, and you will be seeing Hemavati here. Okay, so Hemavati and Netravati, these are two different rivers, and Hemavati I'm going to mark again in red. So this, oops, doesn't look very nice, but let me just continue with red. So this is Hemavati, and it drains into Krishna Raja Sagar. Okay, this is the reservoir that Hemavati drains into. The important thing is that Kaveri river also drains into the same reservoir. So this is something which prelims can ask you. Then we have Mysore. Okay, Mysore is the nearest big city to Krishna Raja Sagar. So this is something that can be asked in PT, and that's all. Alright, you can, if you want to trace the origins of Kaveri, just follow the blue line. Origins will be near Kerala border, but again Kaveri is not entering Kerala. Okay, be clear with this. Fine, so that will be all in this picture. Let's move ahead with our the details. Okay, so we were studying about FERL. Let me just tell you the full form of this organization. The full form is Foundation for Ecological Research, Advocacy and Learning. Okay, FERL. It is based in Bangalore. Let's study the details about FERL. Alright. So FERL is a non-profit. Okay, it's a non-profit organization. That means it is a non-government organization. Please be very sure about this. It was founded in 1997. This won't be asked, but just an idea that it is not a very old body. But this part is important. It is a certified scientific and industrial research organization. Okay, this is extremely important, can be asked in PT. And this certificate has been given by the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research Ministry of Science and Tech. So this is a department under the Ministry of Science and Tech. It has given the certificate to this body. And the latter part you can simply read. The mandate of the organization is to address the issue of resource management, conservation, etc. So they do various kinds of research projects, just like they did on this Netravati river. And yeah, that's all. This part is optional. If you want to read, you can read, otherwise you can skip. Nothing really important here. Okay, coming to our details now. So the first point is a general point. It is about the assumption that small dams are less destructive. So this has been broken now. And then we can study. What we need to come directly to is this part, point number 5, various zones of a dam. So upstream, dewatered, and downstream. So if we take the example of a river, okay, let us take this is the river. It is flowing like this, okay, from A to B it is flowing. So the river, we say that upstream part is the one that is towards A, downstream part is the one that is towards B. General maths, arithmetic, you must have solved those questions, upstream questions, downstream questions. So same as that. Now we put a dam in between. Okay, we dam the river and this is our dam. So when we dam it, the upstream part, that is the area above the dam, still remains upstream. So this is the upstream part of the river. Then there is something, a small body that is used for generating electricity, and that structure, not body, I'm so sorry, the structure between the dam and the electricity generating structure, this part is known as dewatered part. Okay, so this section is known as dewatered section, and the zone beyond the dewatered section is your downstream part. So these are the 3 zones in the case of a dam. Let us come to outcomes of the study. So this can be asked in both prelims as well as mains. In prelims they can ask a conceptual question related to this part. So the outcomes show that water flow in the dammed sections reduced the stream's depth as well as width. Okay, this can also come in mains. They can ask you a question that what is the impact of damming a river. All right, so it reduces the stream's depth as well as its width. Then water in these stretches was also warmer. A very important point, can be asked in prelims due to the low depth. The other impacts include lower dissolved oxygen levels. Also, the most seriously hit were the dewatered zones. Okay, so we have seen in the previous slide that dewatered zones are the zones between the dam and the electricity generating unit. Okay, the zone between the dam and the electricity generating unit, this is the dewatered zone, and this part is the most seriously hit. All right, coming to the next thing, that is habitat quality is worst hit. So habitat quality will mean that the organisms that live in that habitat also suffer. So fish diversity reduces. Then the second point is just a reiteration of the first, that is the undammed part of the river showed higher diversity. So just a reiteration. The next part, that is the third part, it says that upstream and downstream stretches, they get disconnected. All right, and this impedes the river. How do they get disconnected? Because see this is the upstream part and this is the downstream part. The dewatered zone is the part that gets disconnected. Okay, so this is how these two sections do not remain continuous. Okay, the next part, that is need for environment impact assessment. This is important. So the first point says that the small hydropower projects, they do not require environmental impact assessment. Okay, this is very, very important. So this is the reason why these are mushrooming across the country. All right, so the second point, it says that the issue, that is the destruction of river ecology, the issue is not really of small dams versus big dams. It is an issue of proper regulations. So if we have adequate regulations and proper implementation of those, we will not be facing such a severe environmental crisis. So that will be all in this topic. Alright guys, the next topic is a drive to clean air. So this is related to air pollution. Coming to its categorization, it is an environment related news. From UPSC angle, for prelims, we need to focus on World Health Organization's Global Air Pollution Report, World Economic Forum, FAME scheme. For mains, we need to focus on the rising air pollution levels and how to curb the menace. Let's come to the content. So the first topic is WHO's air pollution report. So it has found that out of world's 15 most polluted cities, India has 14. Okay, so India is unbeatable, man. Okay. The second point states that World Economic Forum has found that million plus urban conglomerates have increased from 35 in 2001 to 53 in 2011. So going by the style of questions which UPSC asked in 2018, this trend becomes important. Then the third point, it states that 70 to 80% of PM 2.5, okay, this is the trouble creator. So 70 to 80% of this comes from vehicular emissions, domestic activity, construction activity, industrial activity and road dust. Okay. Then about PM 2.5. So these are tiny particles which hang in the air and their size is 2.5 microns. Now you need to understand that microns is a unit of distance. Okay, just like meter, kilometer, miles. So micron is a unit of distance and there are 25,000 microns in an inch. Though this part, the 25,000 microns wala part, is unlikely to be asked in prelims, but this is just a good fact to know. You can throw around your weight with this, ask your friends how many microns are there in an inch. Okay, just let's move ahead. So how does this affect our health? So they can travel deep because of their fine size. They can travel deep into the respiratory tract and cause various breathing related diseases. They can affect the lungs as well. So both short-term and long-term health impacts. You can read these impacts here. There's nothing really for me to read this text out. So let's move on to the next slide. All right, this topic, that is vehicles are key to PM 2.5 emissions, is important, can be asked in PT. So about 35% of total PM 2.5 emissions can be attributed to vehicular pollution. Okay, so if we want to reduce this, we need to directly tackle vehicular pollution. So how can we tackle? The third point deals with that. So three key policy recommendations are there. The first deals with the monetary incentives. So this is self-explanatory. Monetary incentives mean giving subsidies, okay, like tax subsidies, registration tax, road tax, etc. So you can read this point here. Also, this scheme is important. FAME scheme. FAME stands for faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. Let's just digress a bit here and study about FAME. All right. So this is a scheme of Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. Extremely important point. The aim is to provide fiscal and monetary incentives for adoption and market creation. Okay, so both of them, like adoption will be for consumers, market creation will be for the manufacturers. And this scheme has got 4 focus areas. So these are the 4 focus areas: technology development, demand creation, all right, pilot projects and charging infrastructure. Then it is aimed at incentivizing all the vehicle segments, okay, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, auto vehicles, passenger vehicles, etc., even commercial vehicles, buses. So all sections, all the kinds of vehicles are targeted in this scheme. Then this scheme was launched in 2015 under the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. Extremely important point. It was in news because the government has recently withdrew the subsidy given to mild hybrid vehicles. Okay, so mild hybrid vehicles is just one of the 4 kinds of hybrid vehicles. Like mild is one, then strong hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and pure electric vehicles. Okay, we need to know about mild hybrid vehicles. So only the first point is important. See, this vehicle has an electric motor, but this motor cannot really replace the battery of the vehicle, or it cannot really run the vehicle, but it simply assists the normal engine of the vehicle. So in its performance as an assistant, it saves fuel and thus makes the vehicle more fuel efficient. So that's all. That's all you need to know in FAME scheme. Let us move on with our the other part. Okay, the next policy recommendation deals with non-monetary incentives. Okay, the first dealt with monetary incentives. Now we are dealing with the second, that is non-monetary incentives. So these include exemption from tolls and taxes, okay, preferred access to public infrastructure. Then the example of Norway and China is given, also how London imposes congestion charges. So different examples are given here. You can take a hint from these. The next and the third policy recommendation is with respect to non-polluting public transport. So it basically says that the government should provide enough infrastructure and your supply of public transport so that people are incentivized to adopt them. That's all. So these like supply side regulation should be improved, electric buses, mobility, metros, alternative mobility technologies, etc. So these are just the more finer aspects of these points. Then that's all. Way forward is just simple. You can read these 2 points yourself. In the next slide, we're going to study the next topic, that is ISRO's PRL scientists discover an epic planet. Let's see what it holds for us. Okay guys, so this picture reveals a lot of information. The first thing you'll notice is that this is the Earth and this is the planet that we are talking about. So this planet is 27 times the mass of the Earth and 6 times the size of the Earth. Okay, so these are 2 very different things. Even though it is just 6 times its size, the mass is 27 times. So this means that this new planet that has been found, it has to be made up of heavy elements. Okay, this is the only way that can explain the heavy mass compared to the size. The next thing that we will see is the nomenclature. Okay, I don't understand why these space agencies, they name things so complicated. Why can't they just name them like Ramesh and Suresh or something? This is the K2, just take it as 236b. Okay, 236b is one entity and 236 is another. So 236 is the star. Okay, just like our sun. So compared to our sun, this is that sun in the new system. So 236 is the sun, I mean not the sun, the star, and 236b is the name of the planet. So epic is the name of the planet, and epic, some horrible number is there, that is the name of the star. So we'll read about these details in the text below. So this topic comes from science and tech section. All right, from UPSC angle, for prelims we need to focus on PRL, Paras, spectrograph, epic. For mains, all missions of ISRO are important because this is one of those few agencies in India which we can really be proud of. Okay, so all missions are important. Now India is in the elite planet spotting club. All right, another feather in the cap of ISRO. The PRL that we talked about stands for Physical Research Laboratory and it is located in Ahmedabad. Important. and it is for the first time. ठीक है, ये जहाँ पर भी दिख जाए, for the first time, it becomes important, whatever, whether it is national or international. So for the first time, this body has spotted this new planet, and as I have already mentioned, this planet is 6 times the size of the Earth, but 27 times Earth's mass. Okay, so this explains the heavy elements. Okay, just 6 times the size but 27 times the mass. This means the elements which make up the new planet have to be heavy. So heavy element means iron and silicates, like that. Okay, coming to point number 2, epic B, okay, or 236b is the planet, and epic, this horrible number, or just 236 is the sun. कंफ्यूज मत हो यार, जस्ट रिमेंबर एपिक बी कर लेना, एपिक बी या 236b, तो b इज द इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो दिस स्टैंड्स फॉर प्लैनेट, एंड जस्ट एपिक विदाउट द b is the sun or the star. Don't get confused here, please. Okay, the next part is your 4th point, that is the discovery was made using PRL designed spectrograph. Okay, the name of this spectrograph is PARAS. We'll read about it in the next slide. Let us talk about the new planet now. The new planet's name is Epic B. All right, so the first thing is that this planet is uninhabitable. Okay, unlikely to be inhabitable. Now this is because of its high surface temperature. So this is a very important point UPSC can ask, because see, with the resourcing on Earth dwindling, it is expected that it might be so that humanity will get settled on some extraterrestrial planet. So this can be asked. Okay, the next point is again what we have already discussed. Mass is 27 times but size is 6 times. Okay, 6 times at radius, this is important. Then heavy elements we have already spoken about. Let us move to the next slide and discuss the PRL spectrograph. Alright, so the first point says that this spectrograph is the first of its kind in the country. Alright, important words. So this spectrograph can measure the mass of a planet going around a star. Be careful of the word that is being used. It measures the mass. ठीक है, then very few such spectrographs exist in the world, which are mainly in USA and in Europe, which can do such precise measurements. Okay, so after reading this point, you must be feeling so proud of ISRO that you'd be thinking that had you studied properly in your school days, you may have joined. I mean, you could stand a chance at joining ISRO. All right, anyways, the next point is that the mass, that is the spectrograph measures mass using the indigenously developed PARAS. Okay, indigenous hai ye PARAS, very very important. PARAS stands for PRL Advanced Radial Velocity Abu Sky Search. Okay, so the last point also is important. Now this PARAS, that is the spectrograph, has been integrated with the telescope located at PRL's Guru Shikhar Observatory. Guru Shikhar is in Mount Abu in Rajasthan. Alright, so that will be all in this topic. Now we can begin the next topic, that is ISRO offers battery technology to firms. Alright, so the first topic, that is advantages of lithium ion batteries, is important for prelims. So let's just talk more generally about it. Lithium ion batteries are nowadays found in all smartphones. Okay, so whenever you buy a smartphone or when you use one, with regards to battery, what are the things that you look for? The first thing is that the battery should get charged quickly, isn't it? So see this point, it does not need prolonged charge, that is lithium ion batteries can get charged quickly. Then the second point that is that you would need is longer battery life. Once you charge, you should not be requiring the battery to get charged again very frequently. So high energy density, that means once charged the battery life is higher, and this is because lithium is highly reactive element. Okay, so a lot of energy can be stored in its atomic bond. So not exactly like uranium, but then it's much better than the conventional batteries. Alright, then the other thing you would need in your battery is that it should not get discharged very quickly. So again, the self discharge rate is low in lithium ion batteries. Then also about maintenance, you don't want to run to your service center every time you charge your battery. So lithium ion batteries are low maintenance. That is, like very recently I had a problem with my battery getting swollen. So such kind of things do not generally happen in lithium ion batteries. Okay, so these are the advantages. Next is this topic comes from the science and tech section. From UPSC point of view, prelims level, lithium ion battery we have already discussed. For mains level, FAME India scheme we have discussed in detail already. And this part, that is transfer of lithium ion know-how or technology, okay, it will help electric vehicle startups. So let us see what this part has for us. The first point is, you can just skip, not really important, a general point is it is. The second point is important. Okay, so Vikram, ISRO's rocket sciences node, that is Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, it is going to transfer its in-house, this is very important, it is an indigenously built technology. So it is going to transfer its in-house technology non-exclusively. Non-exclusively means it is open for all the qualified agencies or qualified bodies. Okay, for a one-time fee, there will be a free, it is not free, there will be a fee. As I hope I have said that it is not free, I have said. So it is, there's a one-time fee of ₹1. शगुन नहीं है ये, 1 crore है, ठीक है. So a 1 crore rupee fee is there. Let's move on to the next page. And the last point is this, that is currently these batteries, the lithium ion batteries, are being imported from China, South Korea and Taiwan. So that's all that is important. This text that is about FAME India scheme I have already told you in detail, so this is just a repetition. So guys, this will be all in today's lecture. I hope you liked it. If there is any problem in any of the things that I have said, if there are any doubts, please contact me on your Telegram or you can email me. All right, take care. Bye bye.